This podcast was written and created by Avi Melamed, Middle East intelligence analyst and founder of the Inside the Middle East Institute.
The burst of clashes between Syrian Kurds and the Syrian government in the beginning of 2026 are a reminder of a deeper Kurdish reality. Time and again, the Kurds have been mobilized as partners, allies, or proxies, only to be abandoned when geopolitical interests shift. Avi Melamed is sharing with us in a series of podcasts the unique saga of the Kurds. Who the Kurds are, why they matter, and why their bitter saying, "the mountains are our only friends," remains tragically relevant today. This is Episode 1. Let's dive in.
It's a tragic cycle that just seems to repeat itself. And to really get why, I think you have to start with the sheer scale of it all. The human element.
Absolutely. We're not talking about a small group.
Not at all. Melamed's research points to a population of, well, somewhere between 30 and 35 million people.
30 to 35 million. I mean, just to put that in perspective for you, that's a population larger than Canada. It's bigger than Australia.
And yet they are the largest stateless ethnic group in the Middle East, arguably in the world.
And it's not like they're a diaspora. They're on their ancestral land.
Exactly. They occupy this huge, contiguous, mountainous region, what they call Kurdistan, that, straddles 4 modern borders.
So you have eastern Turkey, northern Iraq,
northeastern Syria, and western Iran. And the biggest chunk, maybe 15 to 18 million, is in Turkey.
which creates this incredible tension. They share a language, which is Indo-Iranian, and a general culture.
Right. But there are also these internal differences, different dialects, different religious practices, and obviously they're living under 4 very different governments.
And that's where Avi Melamed makes a fascinating point. He says their collective identity really comes from that shared experience
of division, marginalization, and repression.
Exactly. So in a strange way, it's the constant external pressure that forges their identity. The very fact that they've been denied a state has become, well, a cornerstone of their nationalism.
And that's the heart of the Kurdish question, isn't it? You have this demographic reality that's just too big to ignore, but it's also just politically fragmented enough that it's been impossible for them to really coalesce.
And when you look at the history, this region has always been a kind of highway for empires.
A classic buffer zone, yeah.
You can go all the way back. The ancient Persians, Alexander the Great, the early Muslim armies.
The Seljuk Turks, the Mongols, the Ottomans. I mean, they all marched right through these mountains. But here's the key thing that Melamed highlights.
They never disappeared.
They never disappeared. They were never fully assimilated. He actually has this great phrase for their history. He calls it a loop of repression, revolt, resilience, and reinvention.
And you see that cycle even in our own time. Think about the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003. The Kurds are immediately pulled into that power vacuum.
They always are. But to really understand why the modern map looks the way it does, you have to go back to the end of World War I, the collapse of the Ottoman Empire.
That feels like the original sin of this whole situation.
It's the moment the trap was set. In 1916, you have Britain and France with the Sykes-Picot Agreement, literally drawing lines on a map.
And for them, Kurdish lands weren't a homeland for a people. They were just, strategic real estate.
That's the term, just assets to be divided up. But then, for a brief moment, there was this flicker of something different.
You mean the Treaty of Sèvres in 1920?
Yes. That is the great what-if in Kurdish history. It's the first time, and really the last time, that an international treaty put Kurdish autonomy on paper. It actually floated the idea of an independent Kurdistan.
So for a second, it looked possible.
Mm-hmm.
The world actually acknowledged them.
It did. But then, reality came crashing back in. Turkish nationalism surged under Ataturk. The whole map was renegotiated. And we get the Treaty of Lausanne in 1923.
Which just completely wiped Sèvres off the table.
Completely. Lausanne is the real turning point. It recognized Turkish sovereignty over all those Kurdish areas and, crucially, made absolutely no provision for any kind of Kurdish autonomy. None.
So that's the moment the borders hardened for good. And the Kurds were formally split between Turkey, Iraq, Syria, and Iran.
Precisely. The vulnerability that Melamed talks about, it wasn't just bad luck. It was written into international law. It institutionalized their division.
So when they say the mountains are our only friends, it's not just poetry.
No, it's a statement of geopolitical fact. Every time they've put their trust in a foreign power or an international treaty, they've been abandoned. The mountains are the only thing that haven't betrayed them.
It really makes you rethink the entire map of the region. And it leaves you with this thought. If a distinct population of 35 million has held on to its identity for centuries without a state, despite every effort to erase them, What does that say about the real stability of those modern borders that were drawn by others?
It's a heavy history, but it's essential for understanding the region.
Kurds live across 4 Middle Eastern states: Turkey, Iraq, Iran, and Syria. In the next episodes, we will focus on the story of the Kurds in each state. Our next stop, Iran.
This podcast is made possible by supporters like you. ITME is an independent nonprofit institute committed to apolitical, intelligence-based Middle East education.
To learn more or to support our work, visit our website www.insidethemiddle-east.com.